On this episode of the Best of Bias, you got the return of Lydell Dinero. I know last week he was like, "Where the pod at, man? Where's the reviews of the NFL? Where's the fantasy football update? Like, what's Pat got going on? What's Lydell got going on?" But I'm back. I'm sorry, you guys. Last week I was in LA for Comic-Con. I will tell you guys all about that. Get back on NFL, fantasy, WNBA playoff update, a little bit of NBA preseason, Cinema Corner, Penguins getting good. We're up to episode 3 now. A bunch to talk to y'all about. I'm happy to be back. Sorry for the wait, but your boy is back in the building. Got some cool little gifts from Comic-Con to show y'all. A lot of news to talk to y'all about. I'm happy you guys are back. I'm happy to be back. I'm sorry for last week again, but hey, you guys are in for a good pod. I promise you this pod is going to be a great one for y'all. Welcome wherever you're listening from. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening audio-wise, wherever you get your favorite podcast, welcome in. It's the Best of Bias Podcast Lydell Dinero, and where that theme song at is right here, episode 222, I believe. But let's get it. Let's go.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 222 of the Best of Bias podcast. Yes, it's 222. We're getting there, man. We're getting up there to the peaks. We're in the valley right now, but we're about to reach the peaks. You know what I'm saying? 222, plenty to come. I'm sorry again for last week, but I was out there in LA doing my thing at the cons. Video coming soon. Video coming real soon. I just haven't had time to put it together. AKA Deshaun out there checking it out, holding it down for the squad, the Best of Bias family at Comic-Con. Oh, man, third time there. It was amazing. But I'm happy you guys are here today. Hope everybody's doing well. It's still hot out there. Prayers out to everybody out there, listeners from Florida, all over the world, Florida, especially at these times of hurricane. I think it's Milton now. It was Helene. Now they're getting hit with the back-to-back hurricanes. So prayers go out to everybody in Florida right now that's dealing with Hurricane Milton. It's supposed to be crazy out there, up to 9 to 13 feet of water. You already know flood waters with that debris, glass, cars moving around, earth shaking in there. So don't try to fight that thing. If you can't evacuate, please do evacuate. I'm seeing social media right now. People are out there trying to, sit it out and protect their property and try not to be discouraged by these storms and just try to fight it out and be Mr. Nature or Mrs. Nature. But I don't advise that. They're saying that this flood is supposed to be Category 5 or even higher. I don't know. And it's supposed to be unsurvivable with the level of water and high winds, that tornadoes are going on out there. So, and I'm hearing a lot of people are struggling with aid. FEMA contracts aren't going through. They're getting denied and aren't able to get aid, the aid they need to survive in these times of need. So prayer really goes out to all those people, man. Again, I don't really get too political on these pods, but it seems that we give a lot of money out to other countries and to other places when they're in need of aid. But when it comes to catastrophes and natural disasters in our own country, it seems like we like to publicize it and put it out there in social media and stuff. But you know, the groundwork doesn't always get done to the effect that it kind of tries to portray, if that makes sense. I mean, I know America, we're not going to let our own just sit out there and die and drown and whatever the negative connotation may be, but some people may be and are, you know what I mean, and aren't having access to the stuff that a lot of other people may be having access to. So if you can help, people are donating. I know Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, the team I always root for, and I'm going to be talking about a lot in the pod, is out there. They had to evacuate their families, had to move to New Orleans and ahead of the game that we have there on Sunday, just because that storm was supposed to touch landfall by Friday or maybe even Thursday morning. Whenever you're listening to this, it probably already hit landfall. So man, prayers out to everybody. Stay safe. And if you can evacuate, just please don't try to, again, if it's hard for you to actually evacuate and get somewhere because you have nowhere else to go, try if you can. I know you want to try to protect everything you have back at home if if you can't really do anything to protect it, but I don't know if it's worth your life. You know what I mean? material things can be repurchased. Again, hopefully there's aid being sent out to people to rebuild homes, businesses get back, loans to get businesses back up and running. But in this time of political unrest in our country is at such a big divide now, kind of feel like we should show a bit. Sorry about that camera, no, or that microphone knows, but show togetherness and just kind of be there for each other. You know what I mean? I know it's election season and everybody wants to point fingers at somebody else, but I don't think that's the time for it. I think we need to just make sure that everybody's safe and we just avoid uh, as much loss as possible. We did the warning. Let's just be there for people that aren't able to go, because we've seen this kind of thing happen with the Paradise Fires. Elderly people that weren't able to evacuate in time because of the fires and have nowhere to go. They couldn't move as fast as others, ended up being victims of the fire. You know what I mean? So we know the storm is coming. We can ask people to evacuate, but I still feel like hopefully there's people back there that are able to have equipment, or maybe, our military and stuff have all this money. They should have some equipment that should be able to weather a hurricane just for rescue purposes. The National Guard, Coast Guard, something, I don't know. But anyways, again, prayers out to everybody there, and hopefully everybody can, you know, do what they can to stay safe. But as far as me this weekend, on a lighter note, I was in Comic-Con. It's my happy place, man. I'm out here at these conventions very, very often. We're doing our thing. Usually I go with Damo. Dang, hit the camera thing again. My bad, my bad, my bad. I won't do it again. I usually go out there with Damo, and have a blast. You know what I mean? Go out there, meet some people, voice actors, get some art done, comic book artists, get some signatures from them. Just check out the good food, the good people, just see the cosplayers, just seeing how happy everybody is, how involved everybody is to go out there and just kind of just ingratiate themselves in the culture. They have little classes and workshops of, how people thought of how to do certain things in movies. If you're looking to become a voice actor, other voice actors, famous voice actors tell you stories about their experience and how it took, what it took for them to break in the business. Just all kind of workshops and panels that you can go to if you're not really into the shopping or into getting autographs, or, just learning about the casts of shows. They had Addams Family there, the cast of Addams Family, voice actors of Rick and Morty. They had the cast of Back to the Future, Giancarlo Esposito. They had Rosario Dawson, of course. A lot of voice actors, if you guys are into anime at all. Todd, I want to say, forgot his name. Todd Hapercorn? He voiced Death the Kid in Soul Eater. Shout out to all my Soul Eater fans out there. And also, if you can see back there, Johnny Young Bosch signed my Ichigo poster, acrylic poster. I don't remember exactly what the quote says. I think it says something around the lines of, "If miracles only happens once, what is it called when they happen again?" Essentially, signed Johnny Young Bosch and Ichigo. Nice little acrylic poster. Was able to also pick up some new statues. You guys know how I am. If you're watching visually on YouTube, you see all the figures and shit I have around me. I'm kind of a collector of sorts, if you're looking. But I also started a new collection. I saw when I was getting ready to go to Comic-Con, they had these figures called Super Plastic, and they had some exclusives over there at Comic-Con. So I just wanted to show y'all what I was able to get, starting with Googie. I want to say Gugamon, or whatever his name is. Cool little character right here. The little rabbit with an axe. Got a little mask on. He's doing some dirt. Halloween edition. He had his little bag. You feel me? His little Googie bag. You feel me? Walking around with the overalls, looking kind of cool. That's one of the figures I got. And then actually, I couldn't decide between which one I wanted to get, so I went and got a black one too. So it's a black Gugamon. This guy came with the blue bag. You know what I'm saying? Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool plastic too. Pretty solid figure. It's like a mixture of like a vinyl figure and some kind of like porcelain. You hear that? Kind of knock there. But this one was the special edition though. This one, Young Janky. This one's hard. Look at the little case, the little suitcase he's rocking with. He's gooning. He got the mask on. I had to get him because, of course, because the dollar signs on the eyes is Lydell Dinero. So I had to have him join the family. He got the crowbar. Look at the fit though. It's like the perfect mixture of what I'm all about, collectible figurines mixed with a little bit of fashion as well. So I thought it was like the dopest thing ever. Look, when you pull up his mask, you see him under there mean mugging with the shiesty on, ready to do his dirt. But you know what I'm saying? He got his little psycho mask on with his little case, his little Tyler the Creator Lily out there ready to do his thing. Same kind of porcelain plastic, pretty dope. I'll put it back there. You see the little ones too. I got those in mystery boxes. They gave me hella stickers, so I basically have the whole goddamn collection of Super Plastic. Shout out Super Plastic. Hopefully Ariel could chop up a cool little promo of the stuff that I collected. But yeah, this is cool as well. Again, I got that Ichigo poster back there, acrylic type thing. I would put the camera up a little bit. Let me see if I can pop it a little bit. I'll put it back down for y'all. Right there. Y'all see that Def the Kid right there? A long quote. I forgot exactly what it says. It says something about being symmetrical, of course, because if you know Def the Kid from um the anime, this fool is all about everything being perfectly congruent. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not congruent, he starts tripping out on some ADD shit. On some was it OCD shit. My bad. And then lastly, I don't know how much you'll be able to see this, but you guys know how I feel about Ryan Otley and the Incredible series. I reviewed season one, and maybe season two as well. But I actually got it's gonna be a glare because I have the plastic thing on it. Maybe I can pop it out real quick. Hold on, y'all. Sorry again, audio listeners. I'm showing it's a visual thing right now, but boom. Yeah, that's way better. Look, Ryan Otley signed, blood splatter signed, Omni Man. This is a not Comic Con, GameStop exclusive bloody Omni Man. They didn't have these at the con. He was selling these regular at the con, the regular Omni Mans, and kind of signing them bloody. But I had the bloody Omni Man. He was like, "Yeah, where'd you get this one from? They're all sold out everywhere." I was like, "I brought this shit from home." And he went ahead and signed it all bloody for me in the Ryan Alley way. If you guys know his comic book covers, he has the battle hardened. No, that's Tyler Kirkham, but he always has super blood. If you know the scenes and you know the cartoon, everything he does with the art is hella bloody and crazy and gruesome. So him to add that was pretty sick. He doesn't do quotes, but that was love, man. That shit's raw. If you guys seen this cartoon on Amazon, you guys know it's good. But we got a whole bunch of stuff as well. I would show off AKA stuff that we got as well. AKA pulled up from Indianapolis all the way out to Comic-Con LA and enjoyed himself, I'm sure. I'm sure there's gonna be more cons and stuff that we go to together and kind of experience too. And pause. Deshaun made it down from Seattle and came out and showed out as well. Entered a Tekken 8 tournament. He wasn't going to originally, but we saw it over in the gaming section. That's the thing about Comic-Con, man. It's split into so many different sections of stuff you can do. It's pop culture, it's like anime, it's video games, it's just everything you want to do there. The convention center is split up perfectly to where you can have it all. But anyways, back to the gaming area. He entered a gaming tournament on game or day three. You'll see some of that footage in the video I post, the reel I post on Insta as well. If you follow the Best of Bias on Instagram, but he got fourth place, man. Some of those players were really good out there on Tekken. I think he is really good as well. I think it's the character he got matched up against. I think it was one of his least favorite characters to fight against, just because of the combos and the counters that she is able to do. June, who was Kazuya the whole time, and the player that he lost to was June. It's best out of five. First three matches, wins and gets to move on in the tournament. And again, he got fourth place. But we're gonna go to Evo. We're gonna go to other places as well to kind of show off some of the skills that he got, because you know what I'm saying, Evo out there in Vegas, he competed in as well. Dragon Ball Z Spark Zero just dropped. I'm gonna get into that shit as well. A lot of fighting games out there getting good, man. I'm ready to play. So again, Best of Bias Gaming coming to a Twitch near you. Follow me on Twitch, Lydell_Dinero22, and we get it all to the game and stuff. But Comic-Con was crazy. I actually just got my invite to be able to be in the drawing for San Diego Comic-Con. Fingers twisted up and crossed, then hopefully I can get drawn and able to get the ticket. I've been talking about it, man. I've been saying, man, the last Comic-Cons I've been to, LA Comic-Con, Collecticon, TwitchCon. I've always wanted to make sure I got to San Diego Comic-Con, the Big Shabuzi, the Big Shabuzi Falls, the Big Shabamo. I don't know what to call it. The big event, man. San Diego Comic-Con, you guys know what it is. So to have this opportunity and to just collectively say thank you to the culture. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to travel, do things, collect things that kind of make me happy because fuck, man, excuse my language to everybody, but times be hard. I know it's not, you know, that's not something that is not obvious to everybody because I know everybody is struggling right now, going through hard times, and I don't want to just kind of like draw sympathy to myself, but I'm just happy that I found a hobby that I feel like I can be involved in, that's accepting, that we're able to change the norm, to be so inclusive that everybody is able to enjoy themselves. Thank you, AKA. Thank you, Deshaun, for accompanying me and continuing the tradition of going to LA Comic Con every year. Hopefully, we can get some more cons. I know there's a Comic Con in it's Emerald Con in Seattle, and I know there's a Comic Con in Indianapolis that we need to go to. Just keep this tradition going. All my homies that follow and come through, and you know, fuck with me out there. I know standing in the line some of the times isn't easy, but you know, well, things we do to be collectors, you know what I mean? But again, thank y'all. Can't wait to go on the next trip with y'all. And let's Comic-Con 2024, man. Oh, LA Comic-Con anyways, but more videos, more experiences, more shit convention-wise to come soon. But let's get into this fantasy because I know y'all didn't hear about it last week and what was going on. I believe I did win last. No. I think I lost last week. I don't know. Fuck last week. But week 5 results. Oh, no. I guess this is what's week 4. I didn't give you guys the results of week 4, but the week 5 results of what actually happened this last week, this past Monday, this happened. Um, Everybody knows. I told you guys the kind of lineups and what you guys who is playing who. So Best of Bias Invitational participatees. If you're listening this week, you already know the matchups. You know you played, obviously, but I'm just gonna let you guys know the scores for the outside people, Best of Bias listeners, and just for the people on the squad that want me to talk a little bit about the scores and let you guys know the standings and next week's views. I would be remiss if I didn't just put everything on the table now because I'm a commissioner, man. I want the announcements to be made. Though all the listeners or all the participants may be scared to be on the pod, don't really want to participate and been avoiding at all costs. It's okay. I got love for y'all. So I'm gonna shout out the standings, how y'all did, and next week's matchups. All for y'all. I love y'all. So, anyways, it was me versus 56 Double D's. I got back on the board with a win, 137 to 119. Sean's championship team went against with myself, which is Sean M versus Damon. Sean won 144 to 121. Armpit, that's Derek, played against Cam's Catering. That's Kevin, won 160, put up hella points, to 101. K-Swag, which is Kyle, beat Primetime Pope 133 to 109. Shenanigans, which is Deshaun. Hot Boys, which is John. They matched up against each other in week 5. Shenanigans won 115 to 91. Anyways, K-Swag was Kyle, and then Primetime Pope was Mr. Pope. You feel me? That was kind of obvious, but hey, 133 to 109 for that one. Shenanigans against Hot Boys 115 to 91 with Shenanigans taking that one. Then we have Drake 1, who is like 5-0 right now. He needs to be stopped. Somebody stop this guy. Drake won, which is Yancey, won 148 to 101 over Derek's Jet Skis, which is Sean G, which is he's probably happy right now with the Mets making it to the the NLCS now. National League Championship Series. So yeah, he's probably not too hurt about losing right now in fantasy with his baseball team doing too well. But with that being said, the standings after week 5, we have Drake. Drake won at 5-0, which is Yancey. Armpit at 4-2 or 4-1, excuse me, which is Derek. Shenanigans in 3rd at 4-1, which is Deshaun. K Swag in 4th at 3-2, which is Kyle. CD's Hands, which is me, in 5th at 3-2. 6th place, we got Primetime Pope at 2-3, which is Pope. Then we have in 7th place, Sean's championship team, which is Sean M. Then we have in 8th place, 56 Double D's, which is Jason at 2-3. 9th place, we got Hot Boys, with John at 2 and 3. Then we have 10th place, which is Derek's Jet Skis at 1 and 4, which is Sean G. Then we have 11th place with myself, which is Damon at 1 and 4 as well. And then we have 12th place, which is Cam's Catering at 1 and 4, which is Kev. So again, that's Drake 1 and first, Armpit in second, third Shenanigans, fourth K Swag, fifth CD's Hands, 6 Primetime Pope, 7 Sean's Championship Team, 8th 56 Double D's, 9th Hot Boys, 10th Derek's Jet Skis, 11th with myself, and Cam's Catering coming in at number 12. You guys, don't be discouraged, man. There's still plenty of time. I say there's about 9 weeks left. I could be mistaken into the playoffs. You just need to get in 6th place to make the playoffs, to qualify for it anyways. And realistically, you just don't want to get in, I mean, you want to get in top 3 so you can at least get your money back ultimately, but you don't want to get last place. We're going to make it hard for the person in last place. And I'm not going to call you out because, again, I don't have proof. Good thing I should have been paying more attention. Maybe I'll start writing it down. But, yeah, last place, if you get it 2 times in a row, man, it's going to be tough for you. I mean, we may have to eliminate you from the squad and replace you with somebody on the waiting list if you get twice in a row. Man, but anyways, let me just tell you guys the preview for next week, just so you guys are ready and you guys can maybe make up one of those wins. And again, if you guys outside of the league want to, place a side bet, hit me up. I'm saying I can let the league know and see, get a little parlay going on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, but yeah. Who y'all think is going to win? Holla at me if you guys have been following along every week. Sorry for missing out on last week. If you guys wanted to keep track of the competition, you know what I'm saying? I know there's people out there that like, I should be in there instead of this person. I should be in instead of this person. You know what I'm saying? You probably have a case for it, but you know what I'm saying? Unless they drop out or just somebody super violates, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to live with just being on the outside looking in. But I do respect your input. I do respect the comment. Some comments on the bottom. Tell me how you feel about fantasy football or who you think you should replace. Let me know who you think you should replace in the bottom, and then maybe we can make it. I keep bumping into this camera, and that's just going to start. I mean, this microphone is pissing me off. I'm sorry, audio listeners, again. I promise you that will be my last time bumping into the goddamn camera. I promise you, it'll be the last time. But again, week 6 preview. This is what we got: fantasy lineup or fantasy matchups for week 6. So it's me, CD's Hands versus Sean's Championship Team. We got Armpit versus 56 Double D's. We got Drake 1 versus Primetime Pope. We got K Swag versus Cam's Catering, and we got Hot Boys versus With Myself. So you guys make those adjustments. I know there's a lot of injuries this year and a lot of people are going through a lot of shit. So, I mean, this is, we say this every year and we feel like there's more and more injuries happening every year. And we always say this year is worse than the year before. But somehow, some way, if you want to win that money, it's not going to come easy. You have to maneuver. You have to hit those waiver wires. Do what you need to do to get to the top. Because once you do win the money, you know how much more gratifying that's going to be just to feel like you got it out of the mud. You know what I'm saying? You may have gone through shit in the beginning, but once you stand there tall at the end, possibly holding, let me see, that championship belt right there. You see that shit glistening over my shoulder? If you want to take that shit from your boy, the champion, the person who does this fantasy football shit, you got to take it. You got to earn it. So shouts out and good luck to everybody. But let's get into this NFL. NFL week 5 results. Again, I'm sorry I didn't have any predictions for last week. I was trying to get a pod out to y'all before I actually left to Comic-Con, but I was like, nah, I'm going to just use it for Comic-Con, use it as an excuse to actually report on Comic-Con, give you guys a little some, let y'all know what I be doing on my off time. Give you guys a little break from the sports, because I know a lot of these pods at this time of the year are sports front loaded, and I'll tell you right now, I don't have any pop culture really. This one's going to be sports loaded, and as you can tell, we're already into the sports. But without further ado, anyways, let's talk about the week 5 results and maybe some week 6 predictions, if I may. You know what I'm saying? Make y'all a little bit of money. But last week, starting with Thursday night football, I guess we can do this early. God damn it. Let me just start by saying, actually, let me do a little quick dual cameras real quick while I talk about the Buccaneers, if I may. I'm sorry. I have to do it. But God damn it, I'm late. But last Thursday in this Falcons shit, bro, Tampa Bay versus the Falcons, Thursday night football. Let me first and foremost thank the Buccaneers for not embarrassing us this week. I mean, ultimately, we did lose in an embarrassing fashion, but we didn't get blown out. Being a Buccaneers fan, we do get blown out on prime time, kind of often. Before the Tom Brady years, when we got on prime time game and we actually can get on TV, we didn't do too well. And usually, when we do bad or when shit happens to us, it's against stupid ass Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins, if you see this in the future, and I'm talking bad about you, because I know you're probably a good person, but I don't know why you live to fucking haunt the Buccaneers. I mean, it was a good game. Our offense was showing really well. Shout out Baker Mayfield's having hell of a year. 11 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, and one of the interceptions were tipped, and the other one you did force it to Mike Evans in the rain against the Lions, but we ain't gonna go that far. Our defense is super injured. Haven't had Antoine Winfield but one game. Luke Gadecki, our starting right tackle, has been hurt for 3 games with a concussion. Our linebacker KJ Britt, who's taken over for Devin White, is slow as molasses and can't cover in space and zone coverage. Kalijah Cansey, our second nose tackle that's running, is supposed to be the next big thing behind Vita Vea. Can't stay healthy, having calf issues running back since last year. You know what I mean? All those excuses aside, everybody has injuries. We were doing amazingly. Mike Evans, I think he had 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. May have had 1 touchdown. May have had 2. I don't really remember. It's been a while now since it happened. A lot of shit's foggy, but just for the fact that the Buccaneers played such a good game on offense, and for the defense to let Kirk Cousins 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, just pick apart our defense in space, make Drake London look like an all-star in that USC bullshit. Drake London, Amon-Ra St. Brown, all these USC dudes, Miss Smith-Schuster, man, always got to do something to us. And again, it was a good game. It's just that we can never solidify. If we're getting smacked, we can get close towards the end and make the game look like we didn't get smacked, but we were really getting smacked the whole game. If we're winning a game, we can never run the clock out. We have horrible clock management. If something can go wrong, it's the Murphy's Law team all over again. We had an opportunity to go 4-1, first place in the division, and keep a chokehold on the NFC South. But we decided to, and again, my boy Bucky Irving fumbling in the wrong time. I can't necessarily blame him. I think the play calling, we tried to get too conservative, play not to lose instead of play to win the game towards the end of the game. The sack that we took, it was just too much. Winning teams that are Super Bowl contenders, eliminate these mistakes. And after so many years of seeing the same mistakes happen, it's kind of tough to take the next step when we cannot get over ourselves. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, the game was cool. We lost, what was the score? 30-36 in overtime. First play of overtime, 50 yards. I don't want to talk about it, okay? Best of Bias listeners, I do this for you. We lost the game. Fuck you, Kirk Cousins. But not fuck you, Kirk Cousins, in a bad way. Just fuck you, though. Yeah. Sorry about that. I was a little vulgar. I'm sorry. I know. Shit. And I didn't want to do that. I'm sorry. And I kind of take that back because it felt bad for my spirit saying it, just because I know how nice of a guy Kirk Cousins is. But this sports shit kind of just brings the evil shit out of me. Again, Mike Evans is kind of having a slower season as far as getting to his 1,000 yards again. I think it's going to be the 12th year in a row. He already broke the record last year, being the only person with 11 straight years of 1,000 yards. And last game he did accomplish 100 touchdowns. One was a fumble recovery though. It's 99 touchdown catches. Touchdown catches. And I hope he can learn to keep his balls that are making him memories. His record-setting touchdown passes, Tom Brady's record-setting touchdown pass. Like, he's just giving the balls away. He's just too nice. Just keep the balls for yourself because these are historic. Next touchdown will be 100 touchdown pass. I get it. You don't want to count the fumble, but whatever. Anyways, the Bucs fall to 3-2. The Falcons move up to 3-2, and they actually are ahead in the division just because they beat the Saints last week and they beat us, and they're 2-0 in the division. So we play the Saints next week, which I'll talk about a little bit. Derek Carr's hurt, so I hope we win and don't lose to Spencer Rattler. But I'm not gonna get into that right now because I'm still talking about week 5. I'm a little hot still, man. Why y'all let me talk about that? Why y'all let me talk about that? Anyways, Sunday we had Jets and the Vikings over there in London. Vikings won 23-17. They stay on a roll. The Vikings were favored by 2.5 points, and they ended up, covering. But the Jets, man, they're in disarray right now. 3 interceptions from Aaron Rodgers. The offense is terrible. That defense is holding it down, keeping the Jets in games and trying to get the offense to get their shit together, but they can never really do it. Aaron Rodgers just got the coach fired. It seems like Robert Saleh got fired. I think it was just 3.5 years as the head coach, and just midway through the season. Um, and the team is not even super bad. It's correctable, but it just seems like, once you get an Aaron Rodgers on your team, or just Aaron Rodgers in general, he just kind of has control of everything that goes on in the organization. The owner of the Jets made a decision, and it looks like he got fired without any kind of like notification. It was just kind of sudden, and they had to have security escort him out the building because it was that shocking and that kind of friction in the air. It was kind of crazy. But Aaron Rodgers wins again. Nat Hackett still survives, and they elevate the defensive coordinator to head coach, the interim. But I don't know, man. I just feel like it may not work. I had high hopes for it, but yeah, the Jets did lose. But I did predict the Vikings to win that, so I'll at your boy. Panthers and the Bears. Bears won 36-10, whooped on the Panthers. I didn't think they would win that by that much. Caleb had a recovery game. Again, I know the Panthers are the probably team to get right against. He had like over 300 yards, like 3 touchdown passes. Good game for Caleb to get back on track. And then the Bears, watch out. They're 3-2 now. I predicted that. Ravens won 41-38. Crazy game. Joe Burrow had like 5 touchdown passes, 400 yards, has 12 touchdown passes on the season. I think like the most in the league, but is still losing all their games. I think they're 1-4 at this point. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, they're just kind of up and down, but they always find a way to get it done. They started slow, but Lamar Jackson's still out there making incredible plays. Derrick Henry's out there, 50-yard touchdown runs, just doing shit that he is supposed to do and is able to do when you have a threat like Lamar Jackson at quarterback. And then they're already rumored to get Devontae Adams. If they get another level with the receiver like Devontae Adams out there with Zay Flowers, with likely Andrews and Henry, how are you going to stop that offense? And their defense was really good last year. If they can get back on track, the Ravens are going to be scary. But yeah, they won 41-30. I did predict that, but I did sweat it a little bit. Texans won 23-20 over the Bills. The Bills were favored by a point there, but the Texans were able to get it done. Nico Collins did get hurt, which is fucked up. He's my receiver in fantasy. He was my number one receiver in fantasy, first and foremost, maybe in the league too, with receiving yards that he had. And after a 67-yard touchdown pass or catch, I think he may have tore his hamstring because he had to go on IR and he's going to miss 4 games. But they still were able to win. But there's a lot of injuries going on. Tank Dell was hurt at one point. Joe Mixon's hurt, and now you're going to be missing Nico Collins for a while. But they did win 23-20. I predicted that one as well. Colts versus Jaguars. Jaguars have been losing a lot. They have a good squad too, man. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I believe in ETN. I believe in a lot of players on the team. So for them to be losing as much as they were, I think it was just a matter of time before they actually got a win. And I think that was like the 8th, 9th loss for Trevor Lawrence in a row. So a lot of people were doubting his skills. So it had to be a get-right game for Trevor Lawrence. And they were able to win 37-34 over the Colts. The Colts starting Joe Flacco after Anthony Richardson again was injured and not able to play. And I did predict that one as well. Dolphins win 15-10 over the Patriots. Jacoby Brissett eventually gets benched after this game. Drake May is starting the next game. I kind of felt like though it wasn't a great scoring output, winning wise, I just kind of felt like the Dolphins would put it together because Huntley is not a bad quarterback. He did well while he was filling in for Lamar Jackson on the Ravens. So if you just give him a couple of weeks in the system as a starter, I feel like they'll be able to get Tyreek Hill the ball, Waddle the ball. I think A-Chain had a concussion, so he didn't play. But they were still able to get enough points to win the game. I did predict the Dolphins to win. They won 15-10. Commanders, Jaden Daniels still doing his thing, 34-13. They beat the Browns. They were favored by 3.5. And I predicted this. They're on a roll, 4-1 now. He's having one of the hottest starts for a rookie quarterback ever. He's like Lamar Jackson light. He's able to move with his legs, stay in the pocket, make passes, unlock Terry McLaurin and all the other receivers on the team. He's looking like, he should have been taken over Caleb Williams. Is still kind of yet to be seen because, Caleb's offensive line is terrible, and we saw him just have a good game against the Panthers. So we'll see if he can put a string of games together that can kind of, plead his case. But Jaden Daniels is looking like the truth. He's breaking all kind of rookie records, and he's making the Washington Commanders look like a threat in the NFC East. So I think they're leading the NFC East. So we're gonna see what happens. It's exciting to see, and I did doubt Jaden Daniels. If you listen to a couple of pods before, I may have talked a little shit just because he would play at ASU for a while and won the Heisman over Bo. But all in all, he's having a great start. He's shown me that he can actually do it at the next level. Though we did get the win out of him, it was his first game, and we seen what he can do with preparation. They say he's the first one in the building at 5 a.m. in the morning. Though quarterback is supposed to do those kind of things. I'm happy to see that he has the work ethic he does have. People did vouch for him coming in, and I'm happy to see that those rumors and stuff about him and his work ethic were true. It's cool to see. I did predict that one as well. Like I said, Broncos won 34-18. There's some disarray in Las Vegas where Devontae wanted to be traded. I think either Minshew got benched and they started Aiden O'Connell or he's hurt or something like that. And Bo Nix and Sean Payton are just putting a string wins together. The defense is playing great. Bo Nix is getting comfortable, finding targets out there, doing what he needs to do to get wins, and doing what he did in college. And that leadership and that experience is actually showing out there. And I'm glad to see Bo Nix out there doing his shit. But I'm mad that he beat us. But I mean, leave it to Bo Nix to be a spoiler of teams that I like. He did it against us when we almost made the college football playoff with Oregon. And so it's just right that he does it against the Buccaneers and give them our first loss when we were undefeated. So shout out, Bo. Keep doing your thing, player. When everybody doubted you, you're doing well. Almost, maybe second behind Jaden Daniels as rookie quarterbacks go. We had Cardinals versus 49ers. This is actually one of the upsets of the week. I did not predict this one. I picked the 49ers to win this game. Brock Purdy just had a bad game, man, especially the last play. I was watching this at the restaurant at Comic-Con. Man, Kyler Murray on the last drive, he rushed the pass, got hit, but rushed the pass. The hit didn't alter the pass at all. He just threw a bad pass right to a defender to end the game. They needed Purdy to drive down the field and kick a field goal, I believe. Yeah, just to win the game. But they weren't able to get in field goal range to do it. Purdy did throw that pick. Yeah, without CMC right now, I mean, Jordan Mason is still doing well. It's just that they're not looking like the same team when they're not at full health. I mean, the defense is still doing their thing. But yeah, man, who knows? They play the Seattle Seahawks, a divisional game this week, so we'll see if they're able to get that win. But they're 2-3 right now, not looking like the same 49ers, and the injury bug is kicking in. I mean, they had Kittle still, they had Debo back, still Ayuk out there. It's just something's not clicking this year, but we'll see. Time will tell for them. And again, I didn't predict that game. Packers versus the Rams. Packers were able to win. Jordan Love's back out there. Rams are depleted. This one just caught up to them. The Rams were winning for a while. I think the Packers did come back and win this game 24-19. Yeah, the Packers were favored by 3.5 in LA. And the Packers did win. I did predict that one as well. Seahawks at the Giants. I didn't predict this one right. Danny Dimes was out there moving, doing his thing. They were able to win 29-20. Seahawks were favored by 6.5. So, that was interesting. Danny Dimes is, a lot of these quarterbacks, man, it's the year of the redemption tour. A lot of these quarterbacks that were set aside and forgotten about, they're actually able to go out there and try to do their thing. And kudos to them for having a second chance and doing something with it. All getting paid. Sam Darnold didn't get paid yet, but I know who was I just talking about? Yeah, Danny Dimes got paid, so he has to kind of show what's going on. Jordan Love got hurt, but he's showing he's not really on a redemption tour, but there's quite a Baker Mayfield, of course, got paid, and he's on a redemption tour. And some of those guys are the guys that are actually rocking out. Jared Goff, but he started his ascension last year once he got paid last year too. So shouts out to the Giants. I did not predict that one right at all. Cowboys at the Steelers. Dak Prescott got really lucky in this game because it was another stinker. It was almost disaster for the Cowboys, but luckily they were able to get that drive and that touchdown at the last second to get that go-ahead victory. Shout outs to them and the Cowboys for keeping their season alive. Well, I mean, they weren't going to be down and out, but their fans probably would have. You know what I mean? Dak and CD going at it again, telling Dak that was a subpar throw. Dak throwing stupid-ass interception, so he really did save himself. I know Damo would have went in on him if he would have lost that game. But let's see here. Steelers were favored by 2.5 points too. That's kind of cool. Saints and Chiefs. Chiefs were able to win that game 26-13. Saints kind of are falling back down there like everybody knew they would. Derek Carr throwing up bullshit. It's like they're just hoping that Rashid Shaheed or Olave is just under some of those moon balls that Derek Carr throws in the air and just throws up for grabs. It's not working. And if Kamara can't rush for 1,000 yards each game and they get shut down in that aspect and not able to connect any deep throws, it's over for him. And now Derek Carr did get hurt in the game. Spencer Rattler starting, their second string quarterback, being able to go out there and start. I don't think even Spencer Rattler started the game. I think that Fresno quarterback, Heiner, came in right away for Derek Carr, and I think Spencer Rattler will start next game. They're probably going to put a game plan together for him just to run a lot and just do a whole bunch of shit. But Patrick Mahomes and them, 5-0, they out there doing whatever they want, running trick plays, laterals and shit. And yeah, anyways, they move 5-0. But week 6 is coming up, new week, new time to be great for each team, and hopefully, make up for losses, and maybe, there's time for teams that actually winning and really far ahead to lose and come back down to earth. So Thursday night, we got 49ers at the Seahawks. 49ers are favored by 3.5 points. Both teams looking to win after just bad losses. Me personally, I will pick the 49ers because I think their loss was worse, and they have a lot more to prove. If they lose this game, yeah, everybody's going to give up on the 49ers as far as being the number one Super Bowl contender in the NFC. I think it's going to shift. And if the Vikings end up winning and the 49ers lose, yeah. Oh, actually, the Vikings have a bye. So if the 49ers lose this week, Vikings may be the number one contenders for the NFC to win that thing. So we'll have to see. But I got the 49ers in that game. Then to our Sunday games, we have the Jaguars and the Bears in London. I don't know about this one. Jaguars always play in London, by the way. But I might pick the Bears in this one. The Jaguars defense isn't really that good, but I think the Jaguars need it more. To put together a string of wins would be amazing for the Jaguars, but I just don't think they're going to be able to do it. I think they need a new coach over there. I got the Bears. They are favored by 2.5, so I got the Bears in that one. Ravens versus Commanders at the Ravens. I think the Ravens win this one. Just not really much to talk about. The Washington defense isn't really that good. Ravens are rolling right now. The Commanders are bound to lose a couple of games. They're not going to go undefeated after losing that. So I think they'll lose this game till the real Lamar Jackson will stand up. I got the Ravens in that game at home. Cardinals at Packers. I think the Cardinals will upset. I don't know. I'm always going to pick the Cardinals to upset people just because I have Kyler Murray as my quarterback. And I like that offense, man. I think if it hits its potential, they can win a lot of games. So I got the Cardinals over the Packers in Green Bay. And then we have the Texans at the Patriots. Texans are favored by 7. Texans are going to win this game. I'm interested to see how Drake May does, but that whole offensive line situation where they have no offensive line at all to protect them, it's going to be kind of interesting. And those defensive linemen over there for the Houston Texans are just going to tee off on them. So I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, if Drake May can prevail and win this game, it'll show a lot. But I think the Texans will win this game. Bucks at the Saints. Again, prayers out to everybody out there in Tampa. They did relocate to New Orleans, so we're out there right now looking to get another win. We're favored by 2.5 points. I'm going to say we are going to win. We got a player playing against the backup quarterback, and man, you already know how I feel about the Saints. I got the Buccaneers all day. Eagles at the Browns. Eagles coming off a bye. All their players healthy offensively. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith coming back. I think they're going to hand it to the Browns just like everybody else has been. They're favored by 8.5 points, so I picked them. Titans versus the Colts. I think Titans with Mason Rudolph. I don't know if they're going to start Will Levis or not. I feel like they have enough to beat the Colts. I mean, if Jonathan Taylor comes back and Anthony Richardson comes back and they're able to put that rushing game together and just clock manage the ball, I think they could beat the Titans, but if they're not back, I got the Titans to win that game. Chargers at the Broncos. I'm just, the battle of the Oregon quarterbacks, huh? Of course, I'm going to pick the Chargers, though, just because the Broncos beat us, and I got Justin Herbert over Bo Nix all day. Chargers beating the Broncos, I got that. And then the Steelers at the Raiders in Las Vegas. Steelers, I think, are going to win this game. Just avenging from the loss last week. Steelers are favored by 3 points, and I think they'll cover that. Falcons at the Panthers. I'm hoping the Panthers can beat the Falcons somehow. muster up a victory and just bring the Falcons back down to earth. Let them show them what a non-injured defense looks like. Even though your defense is probably not as good as the Buccaneers, but just bring Kirk Cousins back down to earth, because unless he's gonna throw for 600 yards a game every game, he's not like that, bro. Get a pass rush, take him down. He'll be shook. You got it. Panthers, let's go. But you guys already know. I already tell you guys misnomer or a little precursor when it comes to the NFC South teams. It's gonna be my bias all the time, just because you guys know how I am with the NFC South team. So yeah. Pick that at your will. Lions at Cowboys. Ooh, this is gonna be an interesting one, man. Lions are favored by 3 at Dallas. This is gonna have to be a redemption game, man. I got Dallas. They need to win more. They need to win to show the national media they still got it. They need to show their fans they still got it. Last 2 home games, I think they lost. So I think they need to win this game. CD and Dak need to have the games of their lives. You know what I'm saying? The offense and defense just needs to come together and just put together something magnificent. Bring the Lions back down to earth. Everybody thinks the Lions are the team of the gods. You know what I'm saying? Bring them back down to earth. They'll have their time, but it's not there. It's not now. Last year was their opportunity. It's not happening this year. And then we have Bengals at Giants. I got Bengals in this game. Heartbreak from last game. Joe Burrow is ready. They have to win. They have to win if they want to even have hopes of making the playoffs. 1-5 is not going to get it done. So I got the Bengals in this one. And then lastly, Monday night game is Bills at the Jets. I think the Bills win this one. They lost their last game. The Jets are all dysfunctional. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets need to win this game to save face after doing Robert Saleh like that. Some of the players were in shock and weren't expecting him to be fired, and Aaron Rodgers wants to be completely wash his hands of it, act like he didn't know what was going on. But I got the Bills in this one. I don't think the Jets can do it, and I feel sorry for everybody in the Jets, for my boy Brees Hall, because this shit's going to ruin. But to recap who I got for week 6, I got the 49ers on Thursday in London. I got the Bears over the Jags. I got I got the Ravens at home winning over the Commanders. I got Cardinals winning in Green Bay against the Packers. I have the Texans winning in New England against the Patriots. I got the Buccaneers beating the Saints at home. I have the Eagles winning at home against the Browns. I have the Titans winning at home against the Colts. I have the Broncos winning against the Broncos in Denver. I got the Steelers beating the Raiders in Las Vegas. I have the Panthers winning at home against the Falcons. I have Cowboys winning at home against the Lions. Bengals winning in New York against the Giants. And I have the Bills winning in New York against the Jets. Hail if you want to win some money, if you're doing your survival pools and you think you were asking, what would Lydell Dinero do in this situation? Check out those, run, rewind. Yeah, lock it in. If you want to Venmo me some of your winnings, hey, feel free. I don't need a lot. But if you lose the money, hey, it's not gambling advice. It's just what I would do to get you to where you need to be if you were either waffling between the 2 bets, or you're waffling between who you would choose. But again, the NFC South, choose at your own peril, because I always want the Saints to lose. I always want the Falcons to lose. I always want the Panthers to lose. Remember it. And I'm always going to pick the Bucks to win. Moving on into some WNBA, I have to shout out my girl Sabrina one time, Sabrina Onescu, and the New York Liberty, moving on to their 2nd consecutive WNBA finals to face the Minnesota Lynx. It's going to be an interesting one. But me personally, you already know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the New York Liberty is about to dog walk Minnesota. I think they may have had a tougher time against the Connecticut Sun if they did end up making the finals, but I think the New York Liberty is just going to do their thing. Maybe gentleman sweep. What do you call a gentleman sweep in the WNBA? A ladylike sweep? I don't know. Against the Lynx. I mean, Nafessa Collier is raw. I get that. Courtney Williams had a game of her life last game, but I don't feel like that's going to happen against the Liberty. They got some defenders. I don't think Nafessa is going to do that against Jonquel Jones. I don't think she's going to do it against Stewie. I don't think Courtney Williams is going to do that against Vandersloot or Sabrina. I don't think who else they got on the squad. Oh, they do have Kayla McBride. So I'm thinking Kayla McBride will be more so guarded by Sabrina, and then Vandersloot will go Courtney Williams. And then, Benaja coming off the bench, Thornton coming off the bench, they'll match up good. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if they can send the aces home, Asia Wilson and you know what I'm saying, Jackie Young, In everybody, Chelsea Gray and company, Kelsey Plum, if they can send them home, I think Minnesota is going to be easy work. Knock on wood and fingers crossed and all that. But you know who Stewie is. But I would love to see Sabrina get final WNBA Finals MVP. I rep for the Ducks, you know what I'm saying? And for her to do that, put on for the city would be amazing. New York hasn't won a championship in a while. I'm not a New York fan by any means, but I'll support Sabrina and a lot of the Oregon players, no matter what. You already know that about me. And it'll be so exciting for me to see, or for everybody, us Oregon fans to see, everybody in the WNBA to see, because there's been a lot of glazing over Caitlin Clark, but Sabrina was kind of the first Caitlin Clark in a way. Kobe protege. I ain't got to go through the accolades of what she did at Oregon. She didn't get the national spotlight. Oh well, I feel like she kind of did, but Caitlin just kind of took it to another level. And though I have no hate against Caitlin, there was a lot of stuff being said through the length of this podcast. This shadow is kind of weird, huh? I gotta get some better lighting for next pod. I'm my bad, y'all. That shit looks hella stupid. But yeah, shout out Sabrina, shout out Stewie. Stewie won MVPs before, won a championship before. She has that in her, and I know she and Sabrina will get it done for New York, and I'm excited to see, man. The finals, I don't know exactly when the WNBA finals start, but you already know who I'm supporting, and you know who I'm backing, and I'm ready for that to go down. So I can't wait for it to start. So congratulations to all the ladies making it to the finals. And it's been a long journey, but I'm happy Sabrina's able to get back to the finals and try to win the thing, because last year they played against the Aces in the finals, and they are able to this year actually beat them in the semis and get to the finals, play a new team, and I think they can beat. So incoming trophy. Hope Sabrina drops some shoes too, because I cop. A little bit of college here. Oregon, after beating Michigan State in their technically second Big Ten game, because they played against UCLA, even though UCLA was in the Pac-12 with us. Not really a new team for us, but the first real Big Ten game against Michigan State after beating them. And the losses to the Vols, Bama losing to Vanderbilt, and a whole bunch of other losses pushed the Oregon Ducks back to where they originally started at number 3, with Ohio State coming into town, a 2-3 top 3 matchup. Woo! On Fox, big time game, big time players do big time things. So I want all my Oregon fans to be out there to support, wearing our all black Generation O jerseys. It's gonna be sick. Out there in Eugene, the fans is gonna be loud, and everybody knows who they favor. Ohio State's been everybody's favorite since Big Pimpin', but we in Big Ten now. We out here to show everybody what Oregon is really made of. Everybody thinks it's a fluke. Everybody thinks that we can't handle it. Everybody thinks Ohio State's going to walk all over us. And the people that think we will beat Ohio State in Eugene think that they're going to turn around and beat us in the Big Ten championship or in the college football playoffs. So they're giving us props, but it's kind of like a backhanded compliment. So I'm ready to go out there and show everybody that we are really on that level. Texas, you know what I'm saying? They got to play Georgia. They got to do some shit too. They got to prove it, but they are looking real. And so is Ohio State, but we are too, man. We started off slow. People had their doubts, but we getting it together. And I think since we're in Eugene, that's a big advantage for us playing a team of Ohio State's caliber. And I think we can get it done. Chelsea's a Ohio State fan. I know she's not on to talk her shit, but hey, fuck y'all this week. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Woods. Hey, what do we call you? What's your moniker, bro? I forgot. K-Dub, man. Hey, Ohio State, they going down this week. So Dylan Gabriel last week, 2 interceptions in the red zone. We can't be doing that. Jordan James out there running the ball, offensive line blocking well. Tez doing his thing, Ferg doing his thing, Trayshawn doing his thing. I want to see Evan Stewart get more involved. Defense, hold it down. Corners, hold it down. Defense line, get that pass rush there. Don't let that rookie or that true freshman Smith do any crazy shit to you, Muhammad. You got to do your shit. Safeties, hold it down as well. But yeah, man, college football is so crazy. Luckily, it's a 12-team playoffs. And if we lose this game, we're not out of it. We just got to stay in the top 12. But yeah, it's going to be the hardest game of the season. In my opinion, Michigan's going to be a tough one too. But let's get it done, boys. We can do it. Go Ducks. Go Ducks in it, back-to-back Duck talk. You feel me? Where the flock at? And then basketball. Preseason just started. Sports Equinox, man. What can I say? Hockey's still here. Playoff baseball's in full motion. Again, I think the Mets just beat the Phillies in the NLDS. We got the Padres and the Dodgers going right now. It is, I believe, 2-1 Padres, if I'm not mistaken. And then on the other side, we got Yankees and the Royals. And then we got who else we got? There's one more series going on. But anyways, National League is who I care about more. So, but yeah, we got some shit going down. Congratulations, Mets, for beating those goddamn Phillies. The Phillies beat us last year. Fuck those guys. And it'll be interesting to see the Dodgers beat the Lakers. I mean, excuse me, the Dodgers or the Padres beat the Dodgers because the Dodgers, you know what they did with Ohtani and all that, the billion-dollar team they made this year to try to make the World Series and just win it that way. Padres actually standing on business and giving them a run for their money. So shout out them. Had to throw a little baseball in there, but basketball has started preseason wise. Just talk a little about the Nuggets. They played in Abu Dhabi against the Celtics. Not many, well, the starters did play, but not the whole game. Russell Westbrook got his first action out there with the Nuggets, so that's good to see. Team camaraderie and shit starting, man. It's a couple of weeks to the regular season. Rotations we're seeing a lot of the new pairings go out there and compete. Wemby and Paul on the Spurs, all the new players, man, they're getting out there and getting to it. Some of the vets aren't really getting a lot of minutes because they know the season's gonna come up soon and they'll get sunburn, but there's only 3 or 4 preseason games until the season really starts. So I'm excited to see it, man. Everybody is talking shit. Really, the GM polls just came out with players that they will want to start their franchise with and the team that's going to win the championship and all that Celtics glazing is going on again. Nobody believes in the Nuggets now that we lost KCP and got Russell Westbrook. It's just, oh man, national media. I love it, man. When you're against us is when we do the best. When you guys are nut riding us off the shit that we built and y'all just now getting on in 2023, that shit was hard because, you know, if we didn't show up, meet you guys' expectations, you guys want to knock us off the pedestal that you guys put us on after being so late on us. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't do this for real, for real. So national media, if you guys think we're gonna fall off, just watch and see what happens. Minnesota fucked up and gave up Karl Anthony Towns. They can't do that Twin Tower shit on Jokic no more. Watch us work, bruh. Y'all niggas done fucked up. Preseason's here though. You probably got a basketball game on right now. Check it out. A lot of the rookies coming in doing their thing, but it's not taking. I like NBA preseason a lot because they do get the starters out there and get them some good minutes, but they don't play too much and they don't, you know, they don't really go as hard as they possibly could. So don't fall for the prize picks or the better shenanigans when betting on the NBA preseason because boy, if you thought they sold in regular season, they're gonna sell you definitely in preseason. But check it out, man. I'm excited to see all the new teams put together. I'm excited to see all the new teams that they say going to be the best teams, not be the best teams, and all the players coming back to redeem themselves and take their pedestal back that they took you off, man. It's going to be a great season. And NBA is great for that, man. Storylines in the NBA are always great. The season's long, shit changes, and it's drama filled, man. Bronny and LeBron playing together is going to be cool to see this season. JJ Redick as the head coach for the first time. Will the Bucks, Damon, Giannis get it together? Chris Paul, Maxey, and Embiid. Will Embiid stay healthy? You got DeJounte Murray out there with Zion, Ingram, and McCollum now. Will Zion stay healthy and take the next step? We got Dillingham joining Anthony Edwards, second run at the playoffs. They went deep last year. Can they do it again? Clay on Dallas, you know what I mean? Another run at it for Bill and the big three over on the Suns. A lot of drama, a lot of stuff, and right in the middle of the football season. So a lot of sports coming, a lot of me reporting on it. So I hope y'all is ready. And then lastly, what I'm watching right now, starting five, that since we're talking about basketball, I think it is starring LeBron, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Sabonis, Jimmy Butler. It's called Starting Five, just following the lives of them last season. They were mic'd up a lot last season, a lot of drama during that season. So it's kind of like an inside look of what was going on with them. It's really good, man. Get you an introspective view of a lot of the players. You think you know them from seeing them on the court and interviews and stuff, but this gets you a closer view of them and some of the stuff they had to go through last year, from Bronny going into cardiac arrest, seeing them play basketball, opening day, the in-season tournament, though the Nuggets weren't didn't have a featured player on there. They're in there throughout the whole thing because we were so involved in all those players, like 2023 and 2024 season. So that was cool to see as well. So you can check that out. And then Penguin, man, I'm loving it so far. I didn't get to talk to you guys about episode 2 and the whole heist situation and how Oz is trying to get himself involved with the Falcons and the Maronis to kind of fuck each other over and kill each other so he can kind of like just take over. You're just seeing the conniving nature of Oswald. He'll make plans on the fly. Vic, this the complicated relationship between him and Vic. Vic just wanted to be a kid and just kind of run away with the girl, and just Oswald uh just pulling along Sophia Falcone. Does she really know what's going on? Does she not? She has this hangman moniker that's from the comics that she go around killing people. Is she gonna flip at the end, kill Vic, kill somebody that they love? It's just cool, man. Just some of the stuff that he did when he got caught. Well, one of the guys got caught from the Maroni clique that he was doing a double cross with, and he had to go kill him because he was gonna snitch. You know what I mean? He's gonna get interrogated. It was just, and he framed it on one of Sophia's guys, Sophia Falcone's guys, and got him shot in the head. Just down to everything, man. Colin Farrell's doing his thing again. You always forget that it's him in the fat suit, waddling like that, talking like he's a New York mobster when he's really an Irish dude under that fat suit. It's crazy, man. Again, episode 3 came out just this past Sunday after football was over. They let you jump in and just get your fix of the Penguin, man. It's great. Again, people say it's like a Batman Sopranos without Batman even being in it. It just draws you in, and it just gives you this view of this gritty Gotham that they gave you in Batman, that new Batman with what's his name? Was Pattinson, Robert Pattinson. Though a lot of people may have thought that was a little bit too emo for them, it was the early years of Batman, just kind of him just getting vengeance after his parents dying. So it was more of a grimy kind of crime-filled kind of early stages of Gotham that we got to see, and the continuation of this, and just knowing Penguin and the character that he is once he gets older, this whole underground, his rise to the top is just crazy. In episode 3, it kind of takes the cake. It was one of my favorite episodes anyway. Um, episode 1 was epic. Episode 2 was even more epic, and I think episode 3 takes the cake. I might rewatch it. I watched it like during my traveling when I came back from the airport, but 10 out of 10, man. HBO Max always does this thing, and I commend it every time, man. Keep doing your shit, HBO. And if you want to sponsor us, hey, I can review more shows for you guys as well. But I'm trying to get AKA and somebody else on the show, Damo, somebody to talk about the show episodically. I watched it with AKA while we were at Comic-Con. He watched episode 1, so he's going to get into it. Hopefully we can get him caught up. And I know you're listening to this as you record, so hey, any input you got, let me know how you feel about it, man. But yeah, man, I think that's the end of the podcast. Again, watch the show. I know that wasn't super in-depth, but the show is amazing. I don't want to do it any disjustice, but go ahead and watch it. Once the finale comes, I'll go more into a super in-depth. Maybe I'll do a full episode dedicated to the review of the show with AKA or somebody that's watching it. And yeah, I guess that's the end of the pod. But yeah, also I forgot to talk about when I was talking about Miami or Florida and stuff. You guys send prayers out to Chelsea. She's out there in Florida right now. Wasn't able to make it back due to the storm. So everybody send her your prayers that way while she's out there in Florida trying to make her way back. Yeah, again, prayers out to everybody out there. But it is the end of the podcast. Where like to know, you can find me at SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for the podcast on social media, we got TikTok, it's Best of Bias. Also on the Instagram. All week I put stories on of stuff that I may not put on the pod, but because I do a lot of the sports stuff on the pod as of now, just because of the sports equinox and all that shit. But as far as pop culture and any other crazy announcements that have been made, movie stuff, I always put that on the story. So be following the story, follow the Instagram, get those followers up, man, so we can give more news to more people, man. Let them know the Best of Bias is the best podcast out there, man. And also, I'm ready for everybody to get involved, man. I'm laid back Zach, supposed to be on towards the beginning of the basketball season towards opening day. You got a new pizza out, you got a beer out, you got a bunch of shows, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to talk about with homie. You guys met him before. He's been on the pod a couple of times, so he's ready to get back out here and talk to y'all. And definitely want to get Chelsea get back on when she gets home to talk about her experience out there, dealing with the storm. But yeah, plenty of stuff to talk about. AKA Deshaun, I would love to have you guys on to talk about your experience at Comic-Con and some future cons and some stuff, do some more tournaments. So there's plenty of stuff here. I'm sorry you guys making y'all wait last week, but hit that like and subscribe for the pod. If you're looking for it on YouTube, you already know where to find it there because you're obviously watching it now. But if you're not in this audio, go over there to the YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you won't miss any new videos. AKA does a wonderful job of putting these videos together for y'all. And I commend him every week for doing so. He is the man at this shit, man. You know, he's working a lot. He has big plans for the videos to upgrade them to get them even more watch friendly for y'all, just so y'all can be a little more interactive. And, you know, I always give y'all a little something to, you know, something to chew on, a little beat to step to, you feel me? So it's your boy Lydell Dinero. I won't keep y'all anymore. I hope y'all have a good day. Thank you for clicking play. And you know what I'm gonna say. Where that theme song at, it's right here. It's the Best of Bias Podcast. It's Lydell Dinero, episode 222, and we out of here. Yeah.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias.